Evil Geniuses will have the first ban here between this match of Nora-Rengo versus Evil Geniuses here on Consulate. Blue, see you're excited. See you're very, very excited. Thermite is going to be the one banned out by Evil Geniuses. Going to take a little bit of hard destruction away from Nora-Rengo.
Obviously, this is a map that favors hard destruction pretty heavily, so it's not too out of the woodwork to see one of those two hard breachers getting banned out of the matchup there. Glaz will be the other pick, and again, that's just one of the operators that is deemed as annoying, I think is the easiest way to describe it by most people, so they'd rather not deal with it. They'll take it out of the pool. First defender ban will come in, and again, it's one that we see pretty commonly on this map. It's usually either Echo or Maestro as the first ban. Oftentimes, it is both of them put together if a team wants to hamstring themselves that much by knocking both of them out of the pool. We'll see, as it's up to Evil Geniuses to make that final decision. It'll be coming up right now.
Well, earlier, we have seen so many operators from the Red Crow operation get banned out today. Specifically Echo, and actually we saw a lot of Habana this morning as well, Blue. Just not going to come here. We are going to have the Thermite, the other hard destruct, as well as Maverick. We don't see him banned too often, especially on Consulate, for instance. We see him banned quite often on Clubhouse, but not here. Going to have the Thermite banned once again. So it's going to be Thermite, Glaz, Echo, and Valkyrie. Valkyrie, definitely a household name for bans on Consulate.
And obviously, again, for those of you guys that are newer to Siege, Hard Breach is basically a capability that allows you to get through reinforced walls. That's the walls that you'll see the defenders put up at the start of every round. Now, there's only 2 dedicated Hard Breachers. Technically, there is a third one if you count Maverick, but obviously his is very limited, and it takes a little bit more skill or a little bit more of a setup to be able to take down certain walls, and most walls you can't even really do that with as you're required to get to the top of it. So he's more of kind of a half hard breacher is where I consider him in.
And we saw some very creative usage by Magnet on Fnatic earlier today. That was a crazy match, man.
But again, that relies on the ability to rappel up the wall, which you're obviously not going to have in every situation. So he's really only reliable for taking out hatches, not necessarily for breaking down walls, just because of the length of time it takes to do so, first of all. So very much limited to just the Hibana when it comes to hard breach, which means you're going to have to protect that person's life in this matchup. As if you lose it, especially depending on the site, you could find yourself having a very, very bad time with trying to get any control on this map.
10 seconds to insertion.
Now there's 2 ways to attack the upstairs for Nora-Rengo. The main one going to be admin, that is traditionally where people will take from, or you can try for a yellow take. It's going to entice you to crawl up on the windows of the west side of the building, try and hold an angle while you Habana open an angle into yellow, where the man playing yellow cannot rotate out safely. That is the traditional way to do it, but we have seen some very creative ways of taking yellow as well. We'll see what Nora-Rengo's idea is about this site in particular.
So you have Nora-Rengo out into the open now to start their push. It looks like there's going to be a large focus on yellow stairs at the beginning. And that looks like it's going to follow through even after they realize it's the second floor site, not the basement, where we commonly see its play start out. It's either here or the second floor. They've gone to the latter of those 2 options. Ramu now moving in, trying to start the droning intel inside of the console office to see how exactly a push in here might be valid for his team. They still have a long way to work their way up to the top of the yellow stairs, though, so they are not in the clear just yet to try such an aggressive push. They will move their way in to Mariu on the front on the Ash, but there comes the first Toxic Babe to try and hold the members of Nora-Rengo back, with Evil Geniuses manning that front to stick them away.
Looks like the main focus right now for Nora-Rengo is going to be yellow stairs as Waka to work his way up, and he's actually playing Thatcher today. Didn't see too much of that last night, more or less staying on his fragging ops, going to go to more of a flex role this time around. We've seen this a lot throughout many teams. Lots of players going to just flex and pick up as many mantles as possible. There's actually a confirm will come through onto Mariu. MBK will clean that one up. Ramu going to find one of his own onto Geo, and Necrox will be able to find Waka over on the yellow staircase. And there's just kills rattling off everywhere. Canadian going to find one of his own in the process as well. That means Nora-Rengo is going to be down 2 to 4 in man count.
Nora-Rengo not finding nearly the amount of success they were hoping for towards the yellow stairs, or just in general while trying to get access to the second floor of the building. As such, they'll pay the price for that. We do see an attempt to try and work their way inside of the admin office, and that will work. It's left undefended for the most part by EG. There's been 0 pressure here prior to this throughout the round, and with only a minute left, it'd be unlikely that anyone would still be hanging out over here, but obviously, with the noise being made by both the Hibana and Ramu playing on the Capitao, it's going to give away their positions. And there we go. There's a nice play from Canadian. over there on the pulse, gets an easy scan against Ramu, isolates him into a corner, knocks him out with a C4 from below, leaving it all on Raisel now in a 1 versus 4 situation.
Once again, Consulate primarily banned out by both teams, actually, which is surprising as we will head to it for Invite. Again, this could be just a matter of many strats being hidden. This initial round is on the back of Raisel for Nora-Rengo. So he will continue his way through front office. Pops a couple shots towards Flag Hallway, but nothing's really going to come to fruition. I think the main issue right there is the trades just did not go in Nora-Rengo's favor, specifically Waka on yellow stairs. Just nothing really coming of that, but Necrox will be able to find Raisel. Evil Geniuses will walk away with the first round.
EG a decisive first round for themselves as well, barely allowing Nora-Rengo to get really any control of the top floor at all, let alone get close to the site and find a chance to plant the diffuser. As such, it has now left Evil Geniuses in a dominant position, at least with that second floor hold, and then I'll shift it down into the basement to just continue to ring around the rotation, and this is generally what we expect. So for this map on Consulate, EG into the basement. The cafeteria garage hold is where they'll go, and again, it's a relatively straightforward operator lineup that they'll bring to the table for this one, and actually, we'll see a 6-pick used instead of using the Bandit. We will end up with Maestro in the play for Young.
Nora-Rengo going to keep things relatively the same. Going to keep Waka on the Thatcher. Mario will don Ash once again. So we do head downstairs. Now, we haven't seen too much Vigil play recently. This Canadian will pick that up for himself, traditionally on the Pulse, but this time going to flex himself over to the Vigil. Let's see if he'll find any success on that. Young in his traditional spot, as you do, as the Maestro. We are going to have the mute played downstairs, which is another thing that happens quite often, just due to the fact that those signal disruptors of mutes actually have a height ceiling in which they can go through the floor and prevent drones from gaining access to multiple different areas of the map through the floor. It's a very creative use of his utility, but it works out very well, specifically on this map.
Just a roadblock for the drones they can't even see. Certainly will be a creative use of them to be able to stop the pressure working its way in. Eyes on Nora-Rengo. Here comes the initial push now. The Nora-Rengo roster. Evil Geniuses in the meanwhile. Again, it's not even looking like they're going to do a whole lot of lurking on the top floor. Nope, I take that back. We actually do have one of their players stuck away a little bit further out, and that will more than likely be Canadian on the Vigil himself. That'll be on the second floor, trying to delay this push for as long as possible. We, in addition to that, I believe have NVK in position here in the bathroom on the side to try and stop this. But it's a good start for Ramu, as he's able to isolate out Canadian very early on, prevent him from finding really any impact whatsoever, and knock him down outright.
Canadian is going to trade out quite a bit of health onto Ramu, though. Just lost that gun fight. That gun of Jackals does so much damage, very comparable to the R4C in its use. Well, Mario starts to come down yellow stairs. See if he finds success. He sees that no one's on the mirror window. This is what Nora-Rengo is known for, is this aggressive play. But Evil Genius is going to play it smart. They're going to drop off, I believe, NVK back down the hatch. Once
again, looking for his own lineup here. Mario is going to start working his way into position to drop down into the bathroom hatch, and he'll get into that position and already be able to line himself up a kill. Manages to isolate out Necrox. This is a great start to the round for Nora-Rengo. Geo, along with NVK and Young, are your only 3 players left standing for EG at this point. Helia still looking for a pickup down that hatch. Second one that he would be able to find as well. But meanwhile, he's just going to do a little bit of reconstruction with the buck to make that process a little bit easier for himself, at least when it comes to clearing out the inside of the garage.
Now, everyone thought that the SSG versus Empire match today was going to be game of the day, Blue.
See you on the other side.
I honestly didn't think so, and this right here is why. I think that Nora-Rengo versus Evil Geniuses is going to be match of the day. I think we're going the distance here. And Nora-Rengo definitely showing that they're no slouch against some of the top-rated teams inside of North America.
Oh, they're certainly taking their time with the execute now. We're going to make sure no mistakes are made. So being careful of any potential flanks that still may be working its way around the Nora-Rengo setup. However, for EG, they're just continuing to sit back and wasting time here. It seems like Nora-Rengo have all of a sudden run into a massive difficulty spike in terms of getting into this site. Young has been able to find a trade. Ramu, yes, he's worked himself in for the garage, but he doesn't feel safe to actually go for the plant, and there's a good reason why. NVK has the Nitro cell in the back, and he's able to take him down with it. This is turning around. All of a sudden, we've reached the 20-second mark here. Nora-Rengo quickly running out of time, but Gio with another pickup now gives EG back an advantage. Another pickup, in fact, coming in from Gio. Walker going to try to go for the plant behind the big white van. We are going to see the Nitro cell move in, but they won't even need it as NVK pushes back out, shuts it down for EG yet again, and puts them up at 2-0.
And that is why Evil Geniuses is the top of North America this season. Their clutch potential, even down 2 men, still edge it out against Nora-Rengo on that basement defense. Looking very strong so far on Consulate. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is Nora-Rengo's pick. So, this does not go their way. Evil Geniuses will definitely be on the path to victory. And possibly a 2-0. We will see. It is still very early. We do have 2-0 on the board, at least in this map, but you know, not the match count. That's exactly what we're going to be looking at. But so far, it does seem like Evil Geniuses is coming in hot.
Well, the Clash pick originally, but as we generally end up seeing, it is going to get 6 picked out. We're just waiting for the confirmation to come in, and the timer will force it. So he's going to end up going over to the dock. We saw something similar with the Capital pick for Waka over on Nora-Rengo's side. Let's take a look at the opener of the round once again with EG. Since they have closed out the top and bottom floor, not going to be left with much of a choice unless they wanted to go into Archives. Will have to play the lobby site, the more difficult ones, of course, for our defenders to hold off.
The site traditionally is held down by the bathroom, and one of my favorite callouts in all of Siege, the antechamber or connection hallway, and people usually call between the A and B sites respectively on this map. Thank you, Marcio, for looking at that for me. I appreciate that. But just seemed like they are going to be playing some combative angles from the bathroom doors. You guys saw that deployable shield. As well as Canadian is going to start things downstairs on his notorious pulse, as he will gain the initial intel of where Nora-Rengo will push from. He's now spotting out that it will be the east side at the very least, as it does appear that Nora-Rengo will rappel up the east side in admin, as there is so many bodies dedicated upstairs from Evil Geniuses, as we can see with our beautiful X-ray vision.
Feeling once again is going to go hunting, trying to knock out the cameras that are still down below as well, just to deny that little bit of intel that EG might have gotten in the meanwhile. Canadian repositioning into a spot where he might be able to find impact on his Nitro cell. He will get droned out, however, so they're going to realize where his position is at. And I'll have to be incredibly careful about the way he proceeds over the next few moments as a result of that. And being droned out, he's now put himself into a dangerous spot, and he does not want to find himself eliminated so early on again. That would certainly doom him. The rest of his teammates are having to deal with a very, very basic defense on that lobby site. But regardless, we've got Nora-Rengo still trying to push their way through. They've gotten control of admin. There is Canadian, however, finding the impact needed. Is able to line himself up a Nitro cell against Papilia and take him out and bring it into a 5v4.
Mario going to expend a stun grenade as well as a breaching round towards NVK, but he's not going to find too much of it. They're trying to use a couple of race use exothermic shard, exo pellets, as he will blow open the back of Meeting. But he's really not going to find anybody, as they have already rotated out. NVK is just chilling here as a time waster. They already had Gio rotate up and actually give him some extra health as well. So smart rotation by Evil Geniuses, allowing that to happen. Nora-Rengo really caught up upstairs with these roamers, and it actually appears that NVK, no, he is to the right. You guys can see his gun through the wall. He is actually still up here inside a bathroom, and actually Gio has joined him over here inside of the CEO office, as they're going to continue to apply pressure until Nora-Rengo decides what they want to do, or just let them expend as much time as they possibly can. Under a minute left, Nora-Rengo really staring down the barrel of losing this round.
Once again looking for his first lineup, but it's actually going to be Gio that is able to accomplish the second kill, now into the favor of EG. Time again running low for Nora-Rengo here. May have to force the issue in lobby, but that's not going to be the easiest thing in the world. The Maestro hasn't been banned out. You still have Evil Eye cameras to deal with, potential toxic babes that could be thrown as well. I believe he's got at least 1, if not 2, still remaining in his inventory. would open up another possible delay here. Only 20 seconds remaining, and even worse, they're down to a 2v4 now. They're going to try to leap in through yellow stairs and wrap in quickly through piano to at least try for a plant in piano. But no, the hatch blown wide open. They don't even seem to realize it, and Geo just picks up 2 more kills, nice and easily, giving the round again over to EG.
There is levels to this defensive hold, ladies and gentlemen. You have Canadian downstairs, you have the middle held down by the main defenders, and then you have Geo and MVK up on the top floor delaying as long as possible. Nora-Rengo not having any answer to this split hold by Evil Geniuses. Beautifully constructed strat by the boys in blue. Nora-Rengo haven't found success just yet, as they are down 3-0 currently.
I saw that Tachanka pick, Necrox.
We saw you. Can't hide it.
I see you.
You know you want to.
I know what you said. So, moving forward past that, we're going to go back over to 2F again, because we are going to have EG completing the rotation of 3 sites and the 3 rounds that would allow for the original site, to be unlocked. So they'll go back upstairs to play through this one again. 3-0 lead so far unchallenged by Nora-Rengo, despite close rounds here and there. For the most part, it has been EG all day so far in this series.
Never heard anyone call it 2F before in my entire life, actually. You threw me for a loop there for a second. I was like, oh, wait. It is part of the name.
Let's say that.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like, oh, second floor. They're like, 2F. I'm like, what is 2F? And I had to look up real quick for my stat sheet. It's like, oh, okay. But
I'm weird, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I just blame you entirely. That's really it. Yeah, that and a double-breasted shirt. I mean, double
jacket.
Oh, it's a satchel.
It's a sport coat, technically. You want to be really practical about it.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, we are going to have Necrox playing yellow stairs. You guys can see quite a bit of dedication of utility there for him. He only has 1 ADS, so typically you see exponential amount of ADSs there to try and prevent anything to happening to that beautiful Jaeger that's usually playing on those yellow stairs. But this time around, not going to dedicate nearly as much utility. Nora-Rengo going to start things off on the east side, going into admin once again for round number 4.
Similar approach that we saw taken in the previous round. Unfortunately, not much success was found here as they tried to split it between admin and yellow stairs at the same time. In addition to this, they pulled away from admin at the mid-round and eventually tried to recommit to it, but found pretty much 0 success as it was down to a 2v4. And of course, they were stressed for time at about 20 seconds left on the clock at that point. So we're never really able to accomplish too much. Again, Papile just quickly taking care of the camera in the corners. They will have to deal with that later on in the round. And he will set himself up for further action here in just a moment as soon as he's managed to open up what they need to do in admin. We see the attempt on the post from Canadian to pick up a kill, but it's not going to connect this time around. A complete miss on that Nitro Cell. 1 net EG, nothing this time.
They're going to have to start trying to clear out Canadian. If they let this happen too often, he will come up with a huge Nitro Cell that just wins them around outright. Last time he did have 1 initial pick, but it didn't play too much in the rest of the round. Biggest part being Geo with a very nice clutch there at the end to pick up 2. NVK going to start things off right once again for Evil Geniuses as Mario will go down. No more Ash, and we might see a couple rotations in players here on different ops and possibly the next round, or possibly a tactical timeout by the boys' Japanese squad.
Well, NVK with a nice lineup. He's got Mario. He's Nora-Rengo once again down a man. Only a minute left to make up for it and try to find a way to push, of course, either into the projector or console office. Not a lot of time remaining for these guys to make a move, and again, it's the lack of control that's going to become an issue for them in the late game. They don't have good intel about what the site's looking like. I'm assuming they've been able to drone it out, but besides that, we unfortunately haven't seen a whole lot in terms of them actually trying to commit to a push. That's going to change now with Waka stepping up to the plate, being able to find Canadian as he attempts to lurk onto the Nora-Rengo players. 4 versus 4 is where we'll end up at. Now Micro Smokes coming in from Ramu to leave room for the plant to go in from Raisel. He will attempt to put it back down, but Pile as well chucking in a nade, and it's a perfect nade to take out Necrox. The problem is he sticks around for too long. Geo trades out. The plant will go in, yes, but look at how quickly EG is moving in for the retake. Already finding an additional frag to knock out the plant to Raisel and leaving it down into a 3 versus 2.
NVK going to come up with Waka, and it's going to be all left up to Ramu, as he does have a sight line on the diffuser, but there's 3 people left alive. They can just play the trade game, win it out appropriately, but he's going to commit one of his asphyxiating bolts and say, no, they're going to have to try and peek into him. Ramu going to win the initial one against NVK. Still 2 to find as he's trying to delay as much as possible. They have to try and get aggressive, and it's going to be Geo. Can he win it out? He will, ladies and gentlemen, and this diffuser is going to get disabled by Young. Evil Geniuses 4 in a row. And this is just about the time we're more than likely going to see a tactical timeout coming out from Nora-Rengo because they need to make an adjustment.
Nicely done indeed for the guys over on EG to once again close it down on the defense. And once again, retake the site. It seemed like almost for a moment there as well, like we were mid-spray on the last player of Nora-Rengo, excuse me, trying to actually interrupt the counter defuse process. So it seems like that kill came just in the nick of time, as we would have ended up with our last player on EG also going down, and of course not enough time being left for that recommittal to the defuse to happen. It's back to the basement for the last time, or potentially the last time if we assume that EG will win this. If they are able to close it out, they'll be forced into the lobby site for one final round on their defending side.
Well, Sleepy Geo may have not gotten there in time just because, you know, it's in the name, but Send Poppy Geo definitely will, as they will be able to clutch up that round with his partner Young in tow. So, Evil Geniuses so far perfect on console. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are just joining us, this is the first map between Evil Geniuses and Nora-Rengo. And this is actually, I know it may not seem like it, but it is Nora-Rengo's pick for their maps. Currently, their offensive set not going too hot, as they are, I mean, their main issue right now, I still believe, is they have not made an adjustment on ops to players. Currently, Walk is still running Thatcher. Yesterday playing a lot more aggressive ops, and it really worked out for him. His Ash play yesterday was masterfully done. Overall, it really had a big impact, and I'm looking for that to happen again. Yeah,
the general flavor of their executes still remain relatively the same. Papila continuing to stick onto the buck for round after round again. Raisel oftentimes being on the Ciplana as their only hard breach for the round. And as well, swapping out maybe a few ops here and there, but nothing major to the compositional in terms of changes to their composition here. So unfortunately, has left them with limited options to actually succeed in these rounds, and as such, EG has continued to cut in. Even when it seems like Nora-Rengo have full control of the situation, EG always are able to paddle back into it, whether it's a retake or just an outright shutdown on execute. We've seen them come out on top every single time so far, including at least 1 or 2 clutches already.
This is where you're going to want to see the Japanese squad come alive, guys. They're going to need at least 2 rounds here. Otherwise, this is just not looking good for them on their defensive set. But so far, this offensive round has been taking quite a bit of time comparative to the other ones. So you will focus on trying to eliminate this mid-floor game that EG has been playing.
Canadian does get a spot. He's ready with the Nitro Cell. He should be able to get sound intel if there is movement, but nope, the commitment comes out too early. It's Geo that has much better success with his own Nitro Cell to be able to take out Papilia. And again, give EG the edge at the start of the round. 5 versus 4. Raisel now will be moving in. I'm unsure if the Mute Jammers have already been taken care of, or they're going to rely on Waka to throw down the jamming grenade for that. But considering he's down to just 1, I think it has already been done. And there we go. The holes have been blown open with the X-Kairos 1 to spray in from the back of the driveway. And of course, the 2 on the bottom right to allow for an entrance by the Nora-Rengo members.
A little bit of soft destruction here by Mario. As, did it go through the floor?
Did he shoot it down the hole?
Okay, I really don't know what happened there. Breaching round failure, well, apparently.
Tune in next time to find the answer to the mystery of the disappearing breaching round, I suppose.
Yeah, apparently.
It's on next week's episode, kids.
Next invite, you'll see it work. Anyways, Necrox, as he will be playing yellow stairs there. Still plenty of soft destruction already done upstairs for Mario, so don't worry your pretty little heads, but Necrox will remove Raisel's head. Speaking of those, yet another Toxic Bay will ring, and another shotgun shell report will find a body to impact, as he will put Mario down. It's all left up to Waka and Ramu, as both of them will fleet back to the bench for last couple of seconds here as we are waiting for round number 6 to go live.
This 590 SMG-11 combo is starting to really dictate quite a few rounds. We've seen it. We've seen a massive amount of kills coming off just the SMG-11 alone, in addition to the 590 constantly picking up impact too. It's made for a seemingly pretty versatile kit And it's actually proven to be pretty powerful, as that SMG-11 still is good at sniping people, as we just saw right there, with just 1 or 2 shots. A tactical timeout is now going to be called. It's very much needed by Nora-Rengo. Only 1 more round left on their attacking side, and they're going to have to try and make something of it, as a 6-0 defensive run for EG is not going to leave Nora-Rengo in much of a position to come back, even though they will switch to the defensive side after 1 more round.
Kizoku going to choose to talk to the squad now, see if he can make any adjustments himself. Once again, these tactical timeouts do allow you to talk to your coach. Otherwise, you're only allowed to talk to yourself during regular play. Tactical timeouts are the only time you can talk to your coach. The man standing in the back there that sees every single monitor, so he has general understanding of what's going on throughout all of it. You can identify the issue a lot easier than inside of the game, where you are in that first-person perspective and really can't see what your teammates are doing too well. You just got to rely on those callouts so they can make an adjustment. But another thing is, Evil Geniuses also gets to do the exact same thing. So Gotcha going to be stepping up and talking to the boys over on the blue squad. Well, excuse me, the orange squad, but, you know, they're in blue. Anyways.
And there we go. The referee moves in to abruptly cut off the conversation, as he will force the coach to turn off and put up his microphone as the pause time is over. So it's back to taking notes for the coach for now to add input on the next pause if we do end up seeing one from EG. However, that's unlikely given the scoreline and the way that EG has been bursting through this map so far. Only 2 more rounds away from being able to close out here on map number 1 on Consulate and set themselves up for a 1-0 advantage, which is going to look very dangerous, at least in my eyes, when you consider how strong EG was on Oregon yesterday, which is also the second map of the series, if you are just joining us.
There we go. I was just about to ask for that, so I appreciate it. Geo, 8-1 currently. And things kind of top-heavy for Nora-Rengo.
Young hasn't even died yet.
Yeah, Young, I mean, he's young, wild, and free, man. He's just staying alive. He's just been having a good time in the corner with Maestro, really. He hasn't really had to do all that much. It's really all you gotta do. You just gotta stay on your.
You guys just take care of this. I'm just gonna sit here on my drones and.
He's just a child in the corner on the phone the entire time, just playing Flappy Bird. Just
got games on your phone.
You got games on your. Oh no! Oh no! That's how you guys know it's the end of the day. It's when the real memes start. It's when the real spicy memes start. But no, Evil Geniuses been looking perfect, and it definitely shows in the scoreline so far. The trade game has been very good, and Gio's just been really in the right place at the right time. A lot of these kills kind of just getting fed to him right there at the end of these rounds. He's had a couple that really have showed up later on, a couple from utility as well as a couple gunfights won. But key point I wanted to talk about earlier that you were talking about was the M590 SMG-11 combo that's been so prolific throughout Invite as well as just before with Smoke in general. I think the biggest thing is that it is coming back. Everyone was using the FMG-9 there for a little bit just due to the fact that the SMG-11 was practically unusable, but we did get a nerf for the recoil, so, or a buff, if you want to use it that way, where it is better, so.
It's a much better way to explain
it. Much better.
I got what you meant, but
yeah.
I know what everyone else did.
Everyone was like, what do you mean?
Wait, it wasn't a nerf, it was a buff.
Yeah, it's a buff, but, you know, it's kind of contradicting when you're talking about recoil, but the biggest thing, phrasing, exactly. The biggest thing there being that you have a gun for longer ranges and you have a gun that instantaneously wins a close-up gunfight, as long as you don't miss. You know how hard it is to miss with a shotgun that shoots pellets? Extremely difficult. You don't even have to aim. You just got to hit fire and just hope enough pellets hits to instantaneously kill. And it showed quite a few times.
Got Nora-Rengo once again with time starting to get low, committing to their push on the inside as EG once again looks to take control of this lobby site, or as EG looks to defend, I should say, these lobby sites. The phone call will go out. That's going to hold the EG players back for at least a moment, or obviously reveal their positions. Oh, perfect push from Waka as well. Catches NVK just as the second logic bomb had come out as well, so he gets that little bit of extra intel. Necroc's going to be forced around. He's on his toes right now because he doesn't necessarily know what the strat is going to be for Nora-Rengo, but finally does get himself behind the safety of the piano, and as such, will get a chance to reset his device and silence his phone.
Necrox is going to try and hold down piano. Raso going to run in for the plant. You guys can see that timer on the right side of your screen. Young, though, not going to be able to find anything as the plant will go through for Raso. It will not go down in the process, but Necrox will, as the defense is trying to rally back.
Pretty wild round so far, but it seems at the moment that Nora-Rengo may have finally found what they need to be able to take control of this lobby site. Oh, Mary wasn't even going to be in that, but he ran right into it. Canadian, the luck of the draw working out for him. Young with a massive leap out, but it'll net him nothing before the detection comes in. Canadian tries to do the same. He does have position on the outside. The problem is, this isn't where they're holding. It's on the inside where we see two players shut down. Necrox making the run around. The problem is, he has really no time left here. He needs to get on the diffuser right now if he wants to get the counter diffuse off, but it's not looking like it's going to happen. Too much time going to waste. Pops off the Toxic Babe. Not that it's going to accomplish much at this point, but Nora-Rengo finally accomplishing a round of their own. We'll set up a 5-1 score. There it is.
You gotta love them. You gotta love them. These are literally now my favorite people to cast.
Can't keep a serious face.
It's so great. I love it. I absolutely love this squad, man. They're fantastic.
It's the way it's the way their coach just stares at the camera when he does.
Yeah, I know. He just like eyes wide open.
You have no choice but to look at me doing this. Like,
stare into my eyes. Look at me. Swear to me.
So switching sides for EG, who will now jump onto the attack, and Nora-Rengo mounting the defense. Just 2 more rounds away still for EG, of course, to close this one out. But on the attack, that task may prove far more difficult than it would have been on the defense for Nora-Rengo. They're hoping this is a chance, especially coming off that first round win on a pretty difficult site, if we're being completely honest. Are still able to take control of that one. And hopefully that has reinvigorated them for the defensive rounds that are about to begin now.
Well, I've never been able to say this before just because I don't get to cast EG that often, but the Nadian is playing the Nadian. We have Canadian on Buck. We have 2 Canadian operators inside of Rainbow6 Siege. We have Frost and we have Buck. Buck the more prolific, more useful, arguably, out of the 2. I know we have seen some useful Frost mats in the past on certain maps, but
today actually.
Yeah, saw some today specifically.
It proved super useful in cache CCTV on Clubhouse, especially considering especially with an opponent team that likes to bring a Montaigne onto that site on the attacking side. You literally just put a frost mat down on the top of that catwalk on the inside of garage, and it causes a massive delay. Is obviously the Montaigne, if that player that normally the Maestro that hangs out on the catwalks is still alive, the Montaigne can't do anything. He's forced to stop until he can get a teammate to push in with him.
Don't want to drop that shield as Monty risks. You're going to risk everything. Are you going to risk everything to try and get rid of that frost mat? No, you're not. You're going to have somebody rotate. Well, 30 seconds into round number 7 is once again EG up 5-1. If you guys are just joining us once again, welcome. First of all, this is going to be the last match of Stream A on Rainbow6. Make sure you guys catch the action on Rainbow6 Bravo as well, as you guys can see. First map on Consulate between Nora-Rengo and Evil Geniuses. As Evil Geniuses has just now gotten to their offensive set. Only need 2 rounds to win this initial map.
Not gonna waste no time in popping over the top of the wall here. Actually, looks like it was left soft as far as I could see too. So the rest of the wall can be breached open if the need arises. Not really anyone playing into that corner for Nora-Rengo. This one won't be much of an advantage they can gain from that. Racelo still playing behind the stairs. He is going to be looking to hold off the eventual push from EG. He will be the guardian of the yellow stairs for this round. So they have to Geo and a few other players to stop this. He actually gets saved by the ADS right there. A couple flashbangs were about to be thrown his way, so we will throw down his first Toxic Babe. The problem is you can see the asphyxiation bolts moved in and actually managed to fully take him down. I believe just through those bolts alone, Canadian will find the corpse and finish it off, knocking out Racel at the start of the round and giving EG an early 5v4 advantage. Some other players have taken damage though, so it's not necessarily a free kill, with Necrox going down to 50 and Geo losing about 30 or 40 HP.
Evil Geniuses has really been able to work their way through thick and thin so far in this console match. Only losing 1 round so far, and they had a heck of a clutch earlier on the garage as well, which was very well played, especially by Geo. He has really been clutching up all day, and specifically why you're going to see him on the Ash right now. Insane gun skill, as he will find yet another victim in the likes of Ramu, as he will begin his absolute onslaught on yellow. And he's going to get extremely aggressive as he hears the report of the MP7 of Waka. He knows he's downstairs. NBK playing here as well. Is somebody actually rotated into yellow? Is he going to win the gunfight? Geo! Set and Poppy Geo, ladies and gentlemen. Papilio will go down. Canadian going to find one of his own. That's going to be Waka. It's going to be all left up to Mario as Necrox will begin to plant the diffuser.
Plant should go out interrupted unless Mario can get a very nice angle, but I don't think it's possible. He's looking to instead take him down on the stand-up, but not going to see that. Mario again looking for any opportunity that he can use to pick up a kill. Came close on a few occasions, but is not to be met. Evil Geniuses find themselves yet another round and sit only one away now from closing out the first map. Nora-Rengo's pick as well.
We got fist bumps by EG, and we got hand signals by Nora-Rengo. You just, you know, you take your poison, really, honestly.
Trance dances, I think, would be the more.
Trance dances?
I guess you could consider that a trance dance, you know? It's like chill. It's like.
Yeah. You could definitely see some house music over it, just like the ESL Rainbow6 page put some
yeah, they did.
Nice
I just remember that.
Over that. It's the Nora-Rengo dance challenge. We have to get in on that. We have to get in on that. Yeah. Can you guys edit one of those for us? I'd appreciate that.
I know the guy. I know the guy.
You know the guy?
Yeah.
I know a guy that knows a guy. That's you that knows that guy, by the way. I'll stop.
I'll go talk to the guy. But moving on in this match, of course, where EG are going to look to shut it down. The potential final battleground will be in the basement, as expected once again. Nora choosing to move on from that upstairs site instead of reattempting the same thing. It was unfortunately, once again, relatively one-sided, so it would be, in my eyes anyway, a bit of a waste to immediately reattempt that if they haven't figured out the issues they were having on that round.
Nora-Rengo really not able to find their footing just yet either, honestly. I mean, they've had a lot of trouble so far, but they are going to be on the defensive side of things. They are going to move downstairs. Upstairs site just not the best for them. But Evil Geniuses continues to roll on. The blue squad, I'm sure, is freaking out right now as they are poised to take down this first map against Nora-Rengo, which will set them up for arguably a victory already, because they have their choice up next, which, if you're a Nora-Rengo fan, that's not something that you want.
It's a map. I mean, we already brought this up earlier, but EG absolutely dominated on that map yesterday.
It's you don't. It's almost to the point where you don't want to take him there. But honestly, what map do you want to take Evil Geniuses to right now? Unless you're Team Reciprocity, I guess, because they beat him. But I don't know, man. At the beginning of the season, I didn't think Evil Geniuses was going to be that hot. That they're going to have a slow start like they usually do every season. But this season in particular, they've come out swinging right out the gate. And it's really showing right now on this international stage, as the Japan squad can just not find the answer. And Gio's already inside. He's going to find Papilia. He's going to try and find another. Will he find the Mira? Oh my goodness, the pistol kill almost coming through, but Mario going to win 2 gunfights. Gio going to go down as well as Young. And yet another one won by Ramu, the very well-placed Nitro Cell, and there's just a kill flurry by Nora-Rengo. And once again, a little bit of Caster's Curse coming in there as Ramu will clean everything up. A 3K from Pipes for him. Doesn't even have to move. And see Will just have 3 kills fed towards his side.
And so Nora-Rengo stay alive. They are able to successfully hold on to the basement site, keeping them in it for yet another round. The problem is they have a lot of Evil Geniuses to run the gauntlet directly up to 6. So even with that second round, or excuse me, first round going on to the, second round, sorry, going on to the board for themselves, they now need 4 more in a row. They want to have a hope of still being able to take this to OT and, of course, claim their own map selection as a point in this series. Final picks coming out now. It's going to go back up to the second floor. Nora-Rengo feel confident in their ability to win this again. Well, more so they probably don't want to play the other 2 options, so they'll head back up here.
Looks just by the lineup of the offense that they kind of thought that it was going to go the opposite way. Thought that it was going to go to the lobby. And this is just due to the fact of the Capitao pickup. Capitao is really prolific in any kind of scenario, but he works especially well in lobby because you can asphyxiating bolt the door of the bathroom, basically just make it a cell to where no one can get out.
They did find use with the Capitao on the first round that was played up here as well. If you remember correctly, the 2 asphyxiation bolts were put down at the top of yellow stairs early on and actually trapped the smoke Racel on the inside of it. They were able to get basically a free kill against him at the start of the round. They try to do something similar, so Racel will have to be careful about his position, especially if he still decides to play into that yellow steps spot, because once again, he'll find himself in a very vulnerable spot should he stick around for too long. And especially, of course, the asphyxiation bolts trap him on the inside again.
5 seconds to insertion.
Third defense by Nora-Rengo. Once again, they will go back upstairs after an unsuccessful attempt the last time. Basement worked out, though, and it worked out very, very well. Only, I believe, 1 kill, if not no kills for Evil Geniuses on that prior round. And that might be, you know, the shot heard around the world later on if Nora-Rengo will be able to bring this back. It seems like they're a lot more prolific on their defenses so far, at least, as we will have NVK as well as Necrox start over here on the west side of the building.
He's going to be moving their way up to the roof. Necrox will once again try to patrol. This is where we saw him shut down the bolts, the fire bolts before to be able to hold back mainly Raisel, but this time, while we do still have Raisel on the inside, there's no sign of those bolts just yet. Obviously, we're still very early days in the round, so there's plenty of time for us to see that later. Just burn down the ADSs really quickly with his flashbangs, and in the meanwhile, Canadian gonna go for an absolutely brutal skeleton key kill. Necrox finding out an ADS for free also takes that out, but once again, it's Raisel that becomes the first victim of EG here on this top site take.
You never see a skeleton key on rappel ever. It's like the closest angle possible that you see skeleton keys from. Just, okay, all right, Canadian. Hey, I mean, it's your operator, man. It's your operator. You're literally from the same place. You do you.
Listen, it gets the job done. Right?
Exactly. I mean, honestly, he didn't even have to aim. He just sprayed in his general vicinity. Senpai Geo, excuse me, will be able to get 2 different utilities, and MVK will walk into a kill downstairs as Waka will be taken out in the antechamber hallway.
Besides this, down to 3 here now for Nora. Senpai Geo, though, or Senpapi Geo, gonna be able to move in and finds a 1-for-1 trade. Unfortunately, a little bit too slow to save his teammate Necrox, but the trade still definitely plays into his team's favor. More importantly than that, they've opened up the site and an opportunity to plant the diffuser, which Young will do right now. NBK pops open the barricade and pops off the head of Ramu in the process, following it up with 1 additional frag against Papilia, giving the map to Evil Geniuses. 1-0 over Nora-Rengo, taking us to a second map over on Oregon, which would be EG's own pick, meaning they now have a very, very good chance